Yeah, you mentioned about chairs. I'm very excited to know, the selection of chairs from Ding and Gukesh. Yeah, and Singapore hosting the World Chess Championship. How did it feel when the announcement was made? How was the reaction in Singapore Chess Federation?
And Gukesh came in his suit, right? I was in my shirt and I think short. And he came in his wrestling suit. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
you should. Yeah.
okay, let me guess. Is he Indian?
No.
Eddie Bedell. Oh my god, who is this? Oh my god. I am so terrible.
He's one of India's top GM. So, what's ultimate vision of chess in Singapore? Hello, everyone. Today we have someone very special joining all the way from Singapore, who's playing an important role in fostering the growth of chess and development in Singapore and beyond. The CEO of Singapore Chess Federation, Kevin Wei Ming. Hi, Kevin.
Hello, Tina. Hi, everyone. Very happy to be on the show.
We are super thrilled to have you here as well. Thank you for joining, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well,
Yeah, first of all, how are things going at your end?
I think that the event is over, so we are just trying to tie up all the loose ends, making sure that the finances are being resolved. Yeah, we have to finalize all the payments, the people who have helped us along the way, things like that. We have to do post-event reports, and also come up with the statistics. For example, the online views, how many people following us, the impressions, and put together everything in a nice report. So we can reflect on what we have done and see whether we can do better in the future.
Yeah, and Singapore hosting the World Chess Championship. How did it feel when the announcement was made? How was the reaction in Singapore Chess Federation and other chess communities in Singapore?
I think the general feedback from the chess players, especially the younger ones, of course, very positive at the time. I think the most common response would be, "Oh my God, it's really happening." Whereas, I guess for us, we were very excited. We were honored that it has chosen us because it means it represents the kind of trust and belief. And it boils down to really find out the various logistics that have to be managed and the detailed planning. I think it's crucial that we try to do a match that is not typical of the other batches that have been organized. We try to do something a little bit different, showcase Singapore as much as we can.
Yeah, and it was totally visible. Yeah, what a commendable job on that, Kevin. Also, we have no idea of what behind the scenes happened. So, I think it all started from the bidding or way before that.
Well, so there is a bidding deadline, and I think that's the last day of May. I think 31st of May. And the announcement started around, I think, 27th of April, if I'm not wrong. It's probably plus minus 2 days. And the moment that we knew that there was a 50-50 chance of us putting in the bid, that's when the work has already started. I was already, together with a couple of my friends, we already reaching out to the parties and see the support, when the government organizations or the private companies. So Google, for example, is a great example. I think they came in really, really early. So there's also, of course, a venue side of things, right? Because we wanted to not just propose ideas, we wanted to make sure that these values were there.
Yeah.
And I think that the challenging part at the time was really to find a venue that is available for 2.5 weeks and which are really good enough to host such an event. And I think the thing about Singapore is that places tend to be booked 1 year in advance. So it was challenging for us and also challenging for the hospitality groups that we spoke with. Many of them told me that they have to, move mountains and hills just to somehow find a place for us, which means that they have to go back to their clients or sort of move them around. And we can then have a whole stretch of period.
Yeah.
So that's something that we should sort of put together in less than 2 weeks. And I guess that showed the sincerity that we had in our bid, because in our bidding form we proposed at least 3 different venues, and the reasons why we chose these 3 different venues, of course, the Aquarius Hotel of Resorts World Sentosa is one of those. And which means that by the bidding date, we already knew that these venues were available. Of course, we haven't paid any money, but we didn't know whether we were going to win the bid at the time, right? But at least we knew, and they knew that everything's on standby. It will take about a month for PD to confirm whether we win the bid or not. Well, so I think I just sharing all this, you can tell that the kind of work that was put, all the effort that was being invested, right at the outset.
Yeah, but I think all the, energy, time, efforts, and all the logistics which goes into organizing such a big event, big as in world's biggest event, yeah, we can call it as. So I think you did a commendable job with that, Kevin. I also wanted to ask that, presentation in chess is very important. Take it that commentary or, other innovative formats which would help attract the audience, especially the new audience. So you had also arranged different zones like fan zones, media zones, and everything. So important do you think these kind of presentations are in such a big event?
I think it's important to consider the interest of the match attendants. And I mean, I've said this on multiple occasions. I don't feel shy about mentioning it again that at the forefront of priorities, the 2 players have to be happy with absolutely all the conditions, right? They are wishes first and foremost, and we try to meet their requests. At the same time, we ensure that happily measures of all these things are being covered adequately. And then the next priority is really to make sure that attending events have a good experience, right? So that's why these various concepts. I think definitely the interest of the match attending fans are our next, are under serious consideration. So we brainstorm a few ideas with my team and try to think about ideas to at least entice them to come, and also let them know that they are paying, they are getting good value for the money that they are paying, right? So these are the things, because of course FIDE also contributed with their ideas. So Toski always has fresh thoughts about how we can make it exciting for the fans. But I think the fan zone is definitely one thing, and my idea was really to have as many interesting personalities come. We also engage influencers, people who may not be world champions or top grandmasters, but they are content creators and important members of the chess community. So Eric Rosen came, Nemo came, Irene Sukandar. I mean, all of them are good players, by the way. They're international masters or women grandmasters, so they are not weak players. They actually understand chess, right? So that's something that we also play a certain focus on. We have there are a number of ex-world champions coming to support the event. I think I'm really indebted to their kindness. Many of them just agreed instantly when I said, do you mind if we do a bit of this, a bit of that? And they were like, yeah. I'm very happy to come. So for Grandmaster Seijun, for example, she's kind of like a legendary figure, and I read about her when I was a kid, right? She might not be that well known to the chess world right now because she has retired for a little while, but she was she was a women's world chess champion, the first from China, and she paved the way for so many top players. So when I first spoke with her, it was kind of like a surreal experience myself. Yeah. So even talk to this lady, and she was so kind. Of course, Vishianan
Yeah.
really helped us a lot as well. So I think that these experiences are that kind of the one in a lifetime kind of
Yeah.
exposure that match attending fans can feel for themselves. So yeah, very happy to have managed to put this through.
Yeah, I think it's a complete circle that comes into the picture at the end of the day. Yeah. Yeah. And in general, how do you think that commentary plays an important role in bringing, the game exciting for the newcomers?
Well, commentary is super important. It's very easy for somebody like me who has played chess for a long time to take commentary for granted.
Okay.
Because somebody like me, I mean, I was never a professional chess player, but I played a lot of chess, right? I played 30 years of chess. I've read a lot of books, so for me to look at the chess position, I can have my own thoughts. I can frame my own way of thinking. But I think to the amateur newcomer to the game, he has real difficulties trying to understand what's going on. Why is a person thinking so long for one move? You don't even step for what's going on. And it's important to have commentators to break that down into high language that people can understand easily. Then that can stoke that kind of enthusiasm. They will find it fun, they will find it interesting, and that can sustain that sort of interest. Yeah. So in that respect, yeah, all credit to Joby and David.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Yeah, they worked really hard. Yeah, some of the games lasted very long, and they still have to do recaps of the games after that. So really appreciative of their time as well.
Yeah, when you say, some of the games did last long and some of the moves also took so long. So, when we think about it in another way, do you think the format needs to be changed, at this level, or do you think this is okay?
I mean, yeah, this is kind of like a philosophical question,
Yeah,
right? And
debatable
we
question,
are,
yeah.
yeah, I know. I don't consider myself super old school. I think I have followed chess for as long as I can remember. So I have read about Kasparov Karpov and days where games were being adjourned. So a part of me feels that that side of the tradition of having a game, a well thought game that lots of time being invested into critical decisions, which in turn should logically lead to better quality games. I think there's a side of me that still wants to see that. At the same time, I can also respect and understand the current sort of shift towards, let's say, faster time control. Because we are living in a faster paced world these days, right?
Yeah.
With the internet and technology in general. So I empathize with those who really don't wish to spend 4 to 5 hours following one chess game.
Yeah.
But I still think that there's a place and time for everything. The tournament that Gukesh has won is the FIDE World Chess Championship. I think in the past they call it the classical, or they could still call it the classical World Chess Championship. So the word classical is there for a reason, right? It means that it's classical, right? And classical means that there's tradition and there's history, and I respect the tradition and history. I think the time control has already been quickened quite substantially, that we see a lot of nervy moments in the match when the players have to get to move 40 within 2 hours and there was no increment. So there was at least a few occasions when there was a mini time scramble.
Yeah.
Do we really want to make it even faster just to have an even more exciting spectacle at the expense of maybe decreasing the quality of the game? So I do not know. I don't have a good answer to that. My preference is that we try to retain that tradition as much as we can. And I will always follow the World Championship. Doesn't matter whatever anyone says.
Makes sense. Also, hosting this championship must have been a spotlight for Singapore, yeah. So, how do you see this influencing the chess culture in Singapore? I think you're already doing a great job, but how does this championship influence it even more?
I think that the awareness has grown significantly during the match. So lots of news coverage. We have not seen so much
Wow.
positive news about chess in a long time. Uh, I think in the last couple of years before the World Championship, we normally have pieces of news coming here and there where we have an event or we have some success stories. But for the in that intense 2.5 weeks, there was, I would say, constant coverage of the match in mainstream media. That's certainly very helpful. I think I also had the opportunity to share a lot of narratives to the journalists who might otherwise not understand many backstories about chess. Because most people who are not within the chess circle, they might think that chess is just chess, right?
Yeah.
In a way, it is, right? It's white against
Yeah.
black, and for one player against one player, you play a board game, whoever checkmates the other
It's
wins.
just a game, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you break it down like that, of course, it's just a game. But at the
I
same
mean, that's
time,
what people say, yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, but when you view it as a sport, then there are all these things and backstories that we need to understand. For example, the story of Gukesh, how he had always wanted to be a world champion. He even said on camera that he wanted to be,
Yeah.
right? And the amount of sacrifices that the family
Yes.
uh has put in for him. Then we have Ding, and he has well documented issues with mental health. I mean, of course, these stories are not unique just to chess. They are also unique to other forms of sports. I think it's important that we explain that chess is very much not or very similar at least to how athletes can face similar struggles in other sports. Yeah, because
Hmm.
it's not mental health struggles do not just apply to a footballer, for example,
Yeah.
right? They can apply to a chess athlete as well.
Yeah.
Then we also have all the other stories like how chess can be very inclusive.
Yeah.
That a person with a disability can play chess in the same setting as an able-bodied athlete. In no other sport you can do that. So that was already an interesting concept to journalists. So when we did the Singapore Open, we have about 30 people with disabilities playing alongside the able-bodied chess players. I think we have two separate groups. So the group A is like the master level, and we have group B. We have two players from the Vietnamese para chess team who finished the top 10. Then they won prizes.
Yeah.
So alongside the able-bodied guys, right? So I think there are some examples to learn from that. How is it that a visually impaired guy can play chess better than a person with perfect vision?
Yeah.
Is it just for talent, or is there hard work involved? Is there, what? How does somebody who is born blind have that kind of self-belief, right? Because
Yeah.
so chess can help to build that sort of confidence.
Yeah, we have a lot of such stories actually.
Yeah, in India, I mean, it has an amazing person with disability
Yes.
program, as I understand, like lots of great chess players from India. I mean,
Yeah.
I only wish that we have done something even close to what India has accomplished. So yeah, big credit to India, really, the India chess community especially. I think these are just a couple of stories that
Yeah. I think we can
we
only learn from them.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we took the opportunity to just share these things, educate the those who are not as well informed, and we try to push that maybe to the government authorities, and we could see we can do other kind of programs next year.
Yeah, as you say this, I remember um, a few days back we did have a conversation with Gukesh's former coach and mentor, GM Vishnu Prasanna.
Yeah,
And he
Vishnu. Yeah.
mentioned, yeah, he mentioned that he had told Gukesh that if you want to promote chess, being a world champion is one of the best thing you could do to do that. So I think this
I agree.
event, yeah, this event
Yeah.
actually, quick.
Definitely. There's not much more you can do to promote a game apart from being a world champion. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of helpful. Like, I would love to have a world champion in my country. in chess, I mean, because I'm a chess guy, right? So I'm biased. So yeah, I would like the world champion. It doesn't have to be the world chess champion. It could be a world under 10 champion. That would help as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you spoke about Singapore Open. Yeah, you did organize Singapore Open tournaments alongside the World Championship. And how
Mhm.
was it? I mean, because both very good and important tournaments were taking place at the same times and very successfully. So, how was the journey for you?
Yeah, I mean, of course, we plan it this way. It's by design, right? Like
Yeah.
we have the national age group championships, and immediately after that, we have the Open,
Yeah.
and both tournaments were played concurrently, right?
Yeah.
So it's all of this is done by design, and uh, I guess especially for the Open, which was also held in Sentosa. I think it just adds another flavor because there will be players who want to come. They play a reasonably strong Open tournament. They get to
Yeah.
tour Singapore and they get to visit the match.
Yeah.
If one reason exists for a chess player to come to Singapore, I think that should suffice. If that doesn't attract somebody to come to Singapore, probably that person will never come anyway, right?
Yeah.
So we how we did it was really to form separate team. So the team that's working on the World Championship has minimal oversight on the Singapore Open. So except for myself because I oversee everything. Uh, but but there was a separate team that's focused on the national age group tournament and as well as the Open. We also draw on a large number of arbiters. Basically, we try to form a core team who has experience organizing events.
Yeah.
Um, and I think a lot of credit has to go to the team because they understand the importance of it. A tournament is always important, right? But
Yeah.
this particular Open has a bit more spotlight being put on it, given that
Yeah.
it's alongside doing Gukesh. So there's a certain degree of pride in the volunteers, the assistants, the arbiters. And that's why the whole event went relatively incident-free. I don't think there are too many quarrels or squabbles among the team members. All of them understood that there's a job to do. So I appreciate that. I really appreciated that as well from the team. I saw with my own eyes on many occasions they stayed very rarely just to make sure everything is set up properly for the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think it was amazing to see, very smooth events going on. And SCF is one of those few federations who is actively building a strong and competitive chess um, environment. So, what is the ultimate vision of chess in Singapore and through SCF?
So at the heart of everything we do, we have a few different focus areas, right? So for example, the chats for just for the community and for social reasons. So we definitely want to focus on people with disabilities and hopefully we can use chess in particular to help kids with disabilities. To help them build confidence, teach them a new skill, and introduce them to the Singapore chess community. And they'll feel welcome because chess is just very inclusive for everybody. We have chess for inmates in prisons, which has been ongoing for more than a year now. There is a lot of talk about prisons wanting to expand the program. Right now, it's within one facility. They want us to expand that. Yeah, of course, a lot is down to bandwidth, and we don't want to overpromise anything. But it's heartening to know that our partners see value in the work we do.
Yeah.
And the value in chess. So it really means that chess is helping people,
Yes.
right? We also think about trying to introduce chess to maybe disadvantaged families or kids at risk. So, for example, there may be a proposal coming that we could introduce chess to a school where we have maybe kids on financial aid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And using chess to, again, many kids from these families are at risk because you understand there are social issues
Yeah.
from this at risk group. So we will try to use chess to help them. Now, these are things that showcase all the very good benefits of chess, and it's within our mandate. At the heart of this, though, we are a national sports association, and as a sport, we have to win, we have to excel, and I think we want to really nurture, groom our young talents, and make sure that they become good chess players, and not just good chess players, but also ones with good qualities in life. So kids with good discipline, they have respect for the elderly. They demonstrate resilience. They don't make excuses for the mistakes they make, and they grow up to be independent, fine role models of the game. I think these are the goals that the trainers here and myself, of course, we are very much focused on. So, for example, look at Gukesh. Outstandingly, well-mannered. Let's not talk about the chess skills, right? Let's just talk about his manners and the way he speaks, the way he just demonstrates. I think he represents his family very well. His family must be super proud of him. He represents chess very well because as the world champion, we see the guy who speaks eloquently, with confidence, but always respectfully, right? So these are things that we hope chess players in Singapore can learn. So that we are not asking all the chess players in Singapore or kids to become professionals. That's not like that. It's not like that, right? I mean, everybody has the right to make the life decision for themselves. But when they start working or they join the society when they contribute to the economy, we hope they represent chess well as well. So these are things that we try to build all the time. Yeah, but I just wish that we can have good players. We want to have more good players. So I have a lot of expectation and hopes on our younger players, younger kids. We hope they train hard.
That is bound to happen. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know about. I mean, I don't think.
No, I think I can already, imagine this as a chess school.
Yeah, I wish that we can just do a chess school and they come to us every day of the week and we learn.
Yeah. It's really beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that in Singapore, really. We have an academic system that most young children have to abide by. The thought of somebody giving up school to learn chess full time, I don't even know if it's legal, by the way. I think under a certain age, they have to go to school. I think
go to school. Yeah.
That's very possibly mandated by law.
Yeah. I think that's fair as well. That's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not really my expectation. I think I'm more like, if you have talent, you have passion for the game, you have interest, we'll give you access to training. If you need financial support, we'll try to find support for you. And you just work your ass off, right? Just do your best. And if you can get to, a national team level, you can become a chess grandmaster, that'll be great. Yeah, I think that's really what we are trying to do now.
Yeah. I think it's commendable. When students go to chess academies, they do learn chess, they do learn different things. But when the academy starts teaching the life skills, that becomes something new for them. Yeah, that is very important.
But I think that's part and parcel of being a good chess player, by the way.
Yeah.
Because, how can you have the concept of being resilient during a tournament, right?
Yeah.
If you don't come for training because you don't feel well, right? You decide to skip training for 3 months because an exam is coming in 3 months. Does it make, how can you ever become a good player? Because something happens and you give up. So the work that you should be doing habitually, right? Then there are certain habits that we can teach. For example, if you know an exam is coming in 3 months, you don't study for that. You should be preparing like the entire year, right? So these are things that we try to teach as well. And then we just know that players with, if you're a little bit arrogant and you get ahead of yourself, you probably will not you probably will allow others to surpass you because you get complacent. So that's why we also teach about respect. And that's also part of the game. Like if you're in good position, you need to lock in, right? You need to make sure that you convert the position and you don't get overconfident. So all these things are part of the game. I mean, at least in my opinion, they are not very dissimilar.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're wearing multiple hats on your head while being a CEO of SCF. So, I would like to understand, how does a typical day look like for you, managing so many responsibilities? Also, with that, I would like to add, right after the World Championship, Kevin did participate in National Blitz and Rapid, the tournament as well. So, just tell us how a typical day looks like for you. Yeah, I mean, so many things as a player, as a CEO.
Yeah, I'm trying to stave off playing as much as I can. And the reason is, um, like first and foremost, I'm not spending a lot of time on myself, right? Because in order to play good chess, you actually need to train. That's what I've been telling the others. And my disastrous results in the Olympiads speak for themselves because I haven't been as focused as I should have been. I bear full responsibility for that, which is why I sort of announced that I will never play for the team again. Because because if I can't focus, it's not fair to the team. So that's the first reason. I think the second reason when it comes to chess playing is I see these kids every day, right? And then when you play them, there's just this pressure that if you don't play well, I don't know what's going to happen, man. Like you'll be, oh, look at Kevin, he can't play anymore. So there's always some pressure when I play these kids. It's no surprise that during the Blitz and the Rapid, all the games I played with the younger ones or often struggle. I have to work hard. I even lost one game to one of our younger talents. That was a little bit embarrassing, to be honest. So it's not that I am fearful, but it's more like there are practical reasons to this. But still, when I win, and I mean, I won the tournament.
Yeah,
So I won.
congratulations.
I mean, it always feels nice to win tournaments. And these days, these victories don't come often, so I treasure them very much. Even if they don't come in the smoothest possible way, and there was a huge luck element there. I'm not going to discredit myself. I'm just going to take it. And I hope that somehow I can do it again. But I think in respect of chess playing, I would say that you'll be very limited. I probably will play very random open tournaments. I will not be playing the most serious ones. Rapid and Blitz are always welcome because there's not much pressure there. But I think that is the way to go anyways, because I just have now more broad picture items to focus on now. Yeah. So that's a very long digression about chess playing. To your question, I think the average day that looks for me is basically we think it's a lot of planning work. So we are already thinking about 2025. I've done a site visit already for potential event next year, and we consider things that like big items, that could broaden our interests. So, for example, we know that a local famous big museum will most likely be exhibiting chess, and they are already thinking how we can plan the exhibit for them. So I can't disclose more, but it's happening next year in Singapore. Probably we'll find Gukesh's chair there.
Wow.
Yeah, and Ding's chair, of course. So we have the both chairs are autographed. So I think these are things that are really in my vision, peripheral vision, really. I mean, say that more like what are the important things that will go on in next year, and what needs to be planned from now, and the team members are most to help me with that.
Yeah, you mentioned about chairs. I'm very excited to know, the selection of chairs from Ding and Gukesh. Could you share some insights about that?
Well, so we we have two chair sponsors coming forward. They are Razer and Steelcase, and both are renowned local companies. So Razer is predominantly a gaming company, right? I think everybody is familiar with Razer. They are
Yeah.
famous. They do a lot of basically uh gaming devices, and they have like a chess vertical. So when they knew that we had a world championship coming up, they just said, "How? Why do you? I give you guys a few chess. Why don't you let the world champion choose? Maybe the two players they might like it, right?" So what we did was we lined up the options right outside the playing venue when it's not constructed yet. So it was all a mess. It was pretty funny. So we lined up we have like 7 options for all of them, for both of them.
Yeah.
And Gukesh, it was kind of like a messy setup, just 7 chests in the middle of nowhere, and the construction was going on. And Gukesh came in his suit. Like, I was in my shirt and I think shorts, yeah? And he came in his West Bridge suit, yeah?
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
And instantly understood what he was doing. He was trying to simulate an actual playing condition. He's going to wear that. So he wore that and to try it on with a chair. So that he came to try to simulate that actual playing
Wow, good.
condition.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And he sat on one of the Razer chairs and he instantly liked it and it was easy. Then I think we were like cracking some jokes. I think one of us said, it could be me. I was like, like in chess and, even if you choose girls or anybody choose a girlfriend or the wife, and you should look at various options, you shouldn't just choose the first one. I think the dad also said something like, why don't you try the others? And
That was the
Gucci was
first
like,
one he tried and he selected, yeah?
he feels like, yeah, I'm done. And then I think the others were like, can you just go and try the others? Just go and sit on them. And he was like, why is there a need to? I just argued. And then, all right, let me go sit on another couple of chairs. He sat on a couple of chairs. He was like, okay, I'm done. I picked the first one. So I thought that was quite hilarious. Yeah, these are some of the backstories that most people wouldn't know, but it was pretty much the same for Ding. Ding went straight for his steel case chair. He sat on it. It was like, yeah, I'm done.
I think they're pretty clear about what they want, yeah?
Yeah, they just want to get it over and done with. So that was quite fun to see. Because I would have thought that, this is a chair that could determine the outcome of a world championship, and you might want to take a bit more time.
Yeah.
But you're going to sit in that one chair for 2 weeks. You better like it, right? So but in the end I think it sort of worked well for them.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Kevin.
Yeah.
Also, a very funny question I have in mind. Outside the playing box, playing hall, was there any moment where Gukesh and Ding, unexpectedly met each other in the venue?
I think very seldom. They took great care in avoiding each other. I don't know whether it was deliberate, but naturally the movements in and out of their rooms was fairly limited. So, in terms of meal times, their activities, so both of them highlighted that they might want to do a bit of exercise during the match, but they was often like isolated themselves, right? They say like, oh, it'll be me and my coach or something like that. Yeah. So I don't even recall a moment that they met each other. Even like the choosing of the chess, like we time it differently. Yeah, I don't think I mean surely they can see each other, right? I mean they can.
Yeah, they cannot avoid.
Surely there'll be moments that it's not. I don't think they intentionally try super.
Yeah. No, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean the hotel would not collapse even if they bump into each other in the lobby, right? Not such a yeah, but yeah, it's kind of funny to
Yeah,
think
I mean,
about.
it would be funny to watch them, having a lighter note outside the playing hall.
But no, that no, like they didn't, you know, exchange words or anything like that. It's not like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you yourself are a chartered accountant. Also, you took a year off in your journey to become a
Yeah.
grandmaster. So, um, I'm sure there might have been challenges, and it was not an easy decision to take a year off. So, how those critical
Mhm.
decisions, shape you in, being such a leader now?
Well, I think it in terms of deciding on taking the year off, it wasn't super difficult. I think it was quite straightforward. It was more like the moment I woke up one day and I knew that I was going to do this, I was always going to do it. So I think there are pros and cons of such an approach. Of course, everything is done with a bit of calculated risk. So I think at the time I was still fairly junior in my career with KPMG. And what went through my mind was an average person works, say, 40 years in his lifetime before they get to retire, let's say 40 years. So is it really that mind-blowing if I take a year off to do a bit of chess? Is it really so earth-shattering that it shouldn't even be considered? So that was my first thought. And the question was, of course, no, of course, I think I can do it. And the second question is, do I still get a job after I quit for that one
Yeah.
year, right? So that was when and I was also very certain that the answer would be yes, because KPMG is a big organization. They have always been supportive of not just myself, but also athletes in the firm. There are many team members in my department. One less person is not going to cause them a lot of damage. And I will still rejoin the firm eventually, and they probably will still need help. As in, they will still need people around. So I think if I answer that two questions, pretty confidently, right, that I know that I'm still assured of a job after I leave, then it becomes quite straightforward.
Yeah.
And I think critical decision, like decision making in general, right, and how you rationalize things should be done in a way that's completely objective and not and you shouldn't try to allow like certain external things to influence the way you think. So I remember I was renting a flat at the time, and my landlord saw me at home studying chess, and then he said, "How come you are not working anymore?" And I said, "So yeah, I'm taking a year off to study chess." And his instant response was, "Oh, what a complete waste of time. I will never do that in my life." So that was his instant response.
Yeah.
And
Basically, remarks did it demotivate you at that point?
if anything, it motivates me, right? I would much rather try to prove them wrong. I mean, he's just my landlord. It's not my friend. So to me, it doesn't really matter what he think, right? But it's also good to know that there are people out there who think that way,
Yeah.
which makes you realize that you shouldn't waste that one year. So don't fool around, like really spend the time to train and to play and not enjoy life because you're not working. I think it's very easy to forget that when you're living, let's say, the life of. I was. Oh, wait a moment. Oh, let me just make sure that I'm just charging up my laptop. Okay, sorry about that. So I think it's the life of a chess professional. At the time, I was kind of semi-pro for a year, right? Is that you shouldn't take that time for granted. It was easier for me to. It was much easier for me to value that time because I was sacrificing an entire year of income Plus, I'm investing in traders. I'm investing in tournaments. That's a lot of money coming out from my own pocket, and which therefore, I was able to like channel that into like motivation. So I was like always really studying hard and training and basically making sure that I'm using the time well. And if I try hard and if I fail, like I don't even come close, then there's nothing more to be said. It means that maybe I'm not destined to be a GM, and that's fine. But at least I know that I've tried, right? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Now, rather surprisingly, I made my first GM norm about 2 months. So that was March 2011.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 months into my gap year, I made my first GM norm, which
Yeah.
honestly to me, it just came completely by surprise. And quality of the games was really good. And I was very surprised, and that encouraged me. My second norm came a year later. Yeah, and then there's so and I guess you know about the story. It took me a long time before I got my third norm, and then many more years just before I crossed the 500. But those are due to other issues like life and jobs and things like that. So I think you have to make certain decisions and try to rationalize them. Don't be affected by things like, naysayers or people who just want to bring you down. Like, these things are not important, right? At the end of the day, you must be satisfied with yourself and also have the expectation that you might fail. I think that's for a long time it looked like I was going to so I think there are many good lessons learned along the way.
I think it's super important. You mentioned that you took it in a positive way. Yeah? So taking those things, in heart does not make a difference. You have to push yourself with what you have, what you want to achieve. So who is your inspiration, chess inspiration even now?
My inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, any personality, or it could be anything, anyone.
Yeah. I don't know. There are many great chess players and chess personalities, right? That I'm aware of course. But I don't really think of like the work I do or all the chess projects that we are working on is inspired by anyone in particular. I think it's more of like when you see a country that's doing very well, for example, like India, and you try to analyze the different factors that contributed to this success, you naturally want to learn more, right? So you see Vichy, you see Saga doing his work, and then Gukesh.
Yeah.
The younger ones, on the Prague, Michal Sarins. Then you have all these trainers who are so super committed, and you cannot but help whether what Singapore can do to reach anywhere close to that level. Right? Let's be honest and realistic about it. We are not going to go anywhere close. We're not going to go anywhere near India, but can we go to somewhere that is at least semi-competitive with them at some point? Even if it's not at the very top, but somewhere. We have a bunch of 2,600 GMs. Is that a realistic goal? These are questions that we have to ask ourselves and try to model the way we do things after maybe how these kids have improved. It's really like you see success stories from other countries and then you try to think what has allowed this to happen. The Uzbek golden generation of kids which won the Olympiad. Where did they come from? Like, and then we understand a bit more from the stories that they were there from young. They were always promising and they learned and trained together. They were focused. There was a lot of support from the government. I think that it's easy to draw inspiration from different things and different people and success stories as they come along. So even the people with disabilities narrative that we are building on right now, you see the Vietnamese para-chess team and the Filipino para-chess team who really want so badly to come here to play chess. But I don't see the same kind of passion from some of our young trainees, for example. Right? How can we share these stories to let them know that you guys just got to work harder and maybe you have to reflect on yourselves that you have all these opportunities in life and you are squandering them. So I think, yeah, I don't have a good answer to that question. It's a good question, but more like it's probably like when something happens and then I see it, I think about it, and we try to reflect and see whether we can do something similar or try to learn some lessons from that.
Yeah, nice. And while you talk about youngsters, I was writing an article about Ashwath a few months back, and I reached out to you for some insights. You mentioned about the national training program for exceptional high qualifying players, where even Ashwath was a part of. So, how does that work, and how do players join, and how do you identify the youngsters who can, be a part of it?
So I think first and foremost, kids from the age of 8 to 10, maybe to 12, but I think these are the kids that can improve really quickly if they have the right access. So we still have a certain benchmark, right? They should have done well in certain qualifying events like the national age group or national schools individuals. Let's say they score a certain score. And then the next would be the interest level from the child and the support from the family. Because as I understand, everything has to come together. If the family is not supportive, there's not much we can do. If the family believes that chess is not for his kid and they should be doing something else, whatever we say or do will not help. Right? So in that respect, you need all the stars to align people you can hope for, a world-class talent. Let's put it like that. Then, when that happens, we generally try to accept the training. They shouldn't be complete beginners, right? So somebody who wants to come for national training program, they should at least have some basics, and they should have done reasonably well in tournaments. But if you come for the tournament, you're giving away free pieces, then that's not very helpful to the whole program in general, and it's not going to be helpful for the kid himself because he's just going to be under a lot of pressure, right? So, in short, I think there is a qualifying criteria you need to meet. But that's not the only thing. We want to see the child really wanting to come, the family is supportive, and they are open to participating in tournaments. Because if you don't play, you don't improve. This is quite intuitive, but I'm surprised how many chess parents are not really understanding this. If you don't play, you don't get to practice, and every kind of training that you are doing is theoretical in nature because you are not playing. Yeah, you need to play. You play, you have data, you can analyze the games, and then we can think about what to work on and so on. If you don't play enough, there's not enough to work on, right? So I think combining all these things, and somebody like Ashwath, who plays a lot, really loves the game. The dad is super supportive. My general feel is that with or without the Singapore Chess Federation, he will do very well, right? But naturally, we will try to support however we can.
Yeah. Yeah, while I mentioned about Ashwath, Ashwath is the youngest one in the world who beat a grandmaster recently, and with that, Singapore also got its fifth grandmaster, Sidharth Jagadeesh. So, how do you see, these things inspiring the next generation of chess players in Singapore and even outside?
I think that there is definitely a story to be said. Ashwath plays a lot, right? It is no surprise that he could defeat a GM. We are not saying that he's a grandmaster level player right now. I mean, if he is, I'll be very pleased, but he's not. Right? He's still working on his game. He works hard. He understands he has weaknesses and everything. But games like that can happen when you play enough and you're motivated. Plus, he has talent, right? So if he gets kind of position that he likes playing, there's every chance that he can outplay a grandmaster, even though that scenario doesn't happen often, because a grandmaster is a GM, not by chance, right? A GM has to have a certain level of knowledge and experience. It is uncommon for a GM to lose a 9-year-old. So for that to happen, it takes a few things to sort of fall into place. It's unfortunate for Mr. Jacek so far, because he's maybe at the time when Ashwath beat him, he was the most famous grandmaster in the world. But yeah, I think these accidents can happen. While we try not to say and talk so much about it because you don't want to put pressure on the little boy,
Yeah.
it is at least a good story to share to the younger ones, to say that you shouldn't be intimidated by stronger players on paper. Then as for Sidharth made the GM title in style, so he beat Andrei Asipenko, who just won the Qatar Masters, right? So a very, very well played game. It's not a fluke. It was good preparation and great aggressive play and so on. And he won the game deservedly. He became our youngest GM. I'm very happy for him. At the same time, he has a lot of things to work on. He knows it. At least I hope he knows it. And yeah, he just got to keep his feet on the ground, continue grinding. On our part, we support with whatever we can in terms of training and tournament opportunities. At the end of it, it's up to him. So at least there are stories when we share that with the younger ones. I think that really can be inspiring.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these stories and behind the scenes, how hard they work inspire us a lot. Yeah, I mean, 8-year-old, 9-year-old kids nowadays are breaking records.
Yeah, I think Ashwath is very intelligent boy, so he does well in exams. He does well in school. So in that respect, he can kind of like afford to play a bit more chess because his studies are not severely affected. I think the family recognize that. They see the value in allowing the young boy to pursue his interests. And yeah, the family has been incredibly supportive. So in many ways, I'm very pleased to see his progress, but there's still a lot of work to do. Yeah, hopefully in 2025 we can see an even more dangerous Ashwath Kaushik. Yeah.
Amazing. Coming back to World Championship, having Google as the sponsor and receiving fantastic responses from the fans and viewers must have been super incredible for you. So, how did this help in elevating the event in general?
Well, I think that I think everything just fell into place kind of perfectly, and I was fortunate enough to meet Mr. Scott Baumann, who was introduced by a friend of friend actually, who so already it was kind of a little bit random, right? So I have a friend who is a huge chess play enthusiast, like a close friend of mine. He knows somebody who knew Mr. Scott Baumann, and
Okay.
and when the news circulated that we were going to put in a bid, that connection came. We managed to set up a meeting really quickly, which is very rare for somebody of Scott's position in his company. Like within 3 days, I was in the Google HQ
Wow.
in Singapore,
Yeah.
explain the idea of the match, and yeah, a few days later they sent us a very draft proposal, but basically saying that yep, we are keen to do this. I think it makes a lot of sense, and let's try to make this happen. And
Yeah.
already the concepts of how Google can bring their creativity and technological superiority
Yeah.
were already, like, the thought processes were already in place. You know, what kind of activations they want to do, what sort of new things that they think will be fun for kids.
Mm.
Gen Chess was a great hit. A lot of people printed all these cards. They ran out of paper and ink. So
Yeah.
because people started printing stacks and stacks of um, of the Gen chess pieces.
Yeah.
Then I think the Gemini commentary was pretty fun and cool. It was interesting.
Yeah.
The Google Doodle, the arts and culture section. I think it's we are very proud that we could see chess being so massively popularized by a tech giant like Google.
Yeah. I think it was fantastic. Yeah, when the news came out that Google is the sponsor, I think it, spread across the world.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that. I think that piece of news was dropped during the chess Olympiad, and I
Yes,
didn't even
I
know that.
remember that.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that they were going to drop the announcement then.
Ah.
So people started texting me, hey, do you know that Google is the title sponsor? Yeah, I think I know. I kind of expected this piece of news. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. But but yeah, I think that the general view is that everyone's was excited. Hopefully this is not just uh, a one-off. Hopefully Google can consider supporting other chess events in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking technology, how do you think, or how do you see technology playing an important role for chess and development in the chess career for players?
I I think first of all, there are the technical side of things, which in relation to fair play measures, not just in person and also online. I see tournaments online being potentially an avenue for professional chess players to be able to generate more income for themselves. At this point in time, it is basically chess.com events. Uh, and these are very limited events
Mm.
because we still lack, I think, a foolproof anti-cheating measure on the internet. Chess.com does whatever they can, right, with their algorithms, but it is kind of like the post-incident sort of review. We don't really have the tech right now to categorically say that there's no chance, no way that a player online is cheating or can cheat.
Mm.
So I
Mm.
think that's something that I think is crucial. I am no tech expert myself. I know nothing about these things. But I would say that until somebody can figure out a clear platform where chess players would not be able to cheat categorically,
Mm.
right? Um, it is hard to see sponsors putting in significant prize money in online tournaments. Right now, online tournaments are just online tournaments. They are like friendly and we give away some cash prizes here and there. And we're not talking about the big ones like
Yeah.
the ones that chess.com organizes where Magnus plays and all that. But,
Yeah.
we're talking about regular tournaments where the average grandmaster can try to win a prize.
Mm.
Yeah. I think in the past, ChessBase, they have a chess playing server called playchess.com. They used to have prize money events. I think back in like the early 2000s, Hikaru used to play a lot in those events and he wins a lot of prizes. And then cheating came. Like
Mm.
there were very prevalent cases where it was clear that certain players were using engines.
Mm-hmm.
So those prize money events were taken away. So
Mm.
I think I, I I mean, if there is somebody who can just develop something there, I think you can really help the professional chess
Yeah.
player because I think that's like first and foremost, what can be done to sort of improve the the life of a professional chess player.
Yeah.
Because yeah, traveling to play an open tournament is one other thing. It's expensive to fly. Hotels are not
Mm.
cheap. If you're an average 25, 50 GM, you don't get conditions normally. You basically get a room or twin sharing room. And that's about it. You don't really get any kind of flights,
Yeah.
defrayment. So I I kind of think that playing tournaments online is the way to go. I mean,
Mhm.
naturally, the other way is to just have lots and lots of sponsors coming in to provide good conditions for chess players.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at this point in time, that I do not know why, but there's a lot of there's always some controversy over chess. So for one reason or another, people can't get along, right? So, and sponsors look at things like that. But do I really want to support a game where even though the game of chess is very pure by itself, but the community seems to be always jabbing at each other, right? And that's not really the fault of anybody. It's just the way it is, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, chess doesn't have the kind of status like football, where football will always be followed, because the nature of the sport is fast paced, it's a popular sport, and it's exciting. So is chess, but chess is you require a certain degree of understanding to understand that to know the excitement and to experience it. So, yeah, I sound a little pessimistic, but I think it's important for all the important stakeholders to come together and work together to build the image of chess in a positive note, positive light. I mean, so there's no point in in all these online criticisms that I don't know. So I could just mention like Vladimir Kramnik, basically claiming that everybody is cheating on the internet. That doesn't really help chess, does it? Whether he really thinks that it's true or not, I believe that he thinks that it's true. And I think he has probably his own reasons for that. But right now, as it stands, it doesn't look like anything other than his own personal beliefs from his own interpretations of statistics. There's no scientific grounds on what he's claiming, and this is damaging on chess. Yeah. So, yeah.
No, please go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So these are just my general thoughts about cheating in chess that I think are really damaging. Because these are also the things that people talk about the most. So when I go for business meetings or some kind of functions with businessmen, right?
Yeah.
That they come to me and ask me what is going on with the Hans Niemann and chess.com saga. So is it true that you can use this dodgy stuff to cheat, right? And is it really possible? Did it really happen? So these are the things that interest them and this caught their eye. Yeah. Is it really, is the concept of there's no such thing as bad PR, is it really true? I do not know. But if I'm a sponsor, do I really want to get involved in that sort of thing? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure.
Yeah. We always want to stay away from these controversies, yeah.
Yeah. On the other hand, there are also, of course, we still have sponsors coming in. So it's not like chess has totally no appeal right now. But I just think that in general, if we can sort of eradicate this suspicions of cheating at every single opportune moment, I think the prospects might look a little bit better.
Yeah, I feel tech in general is growing day by day. But I feel, with the help of AI, this problem can be solved maybe in the coming years. And if it is solved, I think we might have a lot of online tournaments, serious online tournaments
Yeah.
taking place. We never know, yeah.
Yeah, because I think, like I said, I still prefer classical events and I still enjoy
Yeah, absolutely. I think over the board tournaments have a complete different feel.
different kind of vibes. But at the same time, they are not cheap. Let's be just honest about it. It is not realistic to expect, let's say, somebody, a teenager who's playing chess full time and just go all over the world, just enjoying life, right? Basically. But it's not realistic. You probably need a sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't have a sponsor, what do you do? So these are just my general thoughts on online events.
Yes.
Because you can still see good quality chess being played offline. You just need to dispel any doubts that there's unfair play. And how do you really do that, right? I do not know. I mean, there was some talk about some kind of eyeball tracking thing, right? Like, so wherever you look, if you look at a certain particular area of the screen, it's considered as suspicious or whatever, things like that. I might sound very ignorant right now, but yeah, I didn't think that these things are very difficult right now. But how
I
do you
think these things
conceptualize?
take place during online examinations, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, when you talk about non-chess things, I think AI is able to detect these things very
yeah.
clearly.
So why is it so difficult to categorically? Do you really need to? I mean, we really need that the setup where you have this panoramic camera view left and right everywhere. And you can set up a zoom and so that everybody can see all these screens. I don't know, it just sounds very clumsy and not
Yeah,
particularly elegant.
yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, someday come up with a nicer solution. Like I would say that for the World Championship, uh, we have anti-cafe, I'm sorry, not anti-cafe, anti-cheating measures, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So, first 30 minutes, we allow the use of phones in the
Mm-hmm.
playing hall, so to allow spectators to take pictures. And after
Okay.
30 minutes, everybody has to leave the playing hall to deposit their phones in the deposit area. Now, it's not, it was not a pretty sight, right? And I felt really bad, right? That I've got to chase these guys out of the hall and then got to queue up and go back into the hall and this sort of thing. It is not an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not want to do that. At the
Mm.
same time, there are suspicions, right? I mean, there will always be suspicions, and we need to always ensure or
Yeah,
reduce.
absolutely.
Yeah. So we decided on this solution together with Ide, and I don't think everybody is super happy about it. it's 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 not the most elegant, yeah, but still
Mm.
we have to do what we have to do.
Yeah. No, but I think you did a great job. Before we wrap up this podcast, one last question to you, Kevin. What is the advice you would like to give to all the budding chess players and to all the people who want to lead their organizations just like you? So, if you could give one piece of advice to both of these people.
And I think for promising chess players, I think you should just need to understand that chess, to be really good at chess, you need to work really, really hard. And you might need to work hard in the areas where you don't particularly enjoy. So in chess, there are many parts of the game, right? You need to be good at everything. You cannot just choose the ones that you want to be good at, and ignore the rest. So first of all, that's something that you have to recognize for yourself. Um, and there's nothing much more than hard work. You don't have to have a lot of talent. You should have some talent, but you need to have perseverance, resilience, and you need to be able to read books independently. I think reading is like a super important core skill. The ability to read a chess book in detail with deep focus and concentration is a skill in itself. Are you able to put away your phone for like 45 minutes a day, just read and
Yeah.
analyze a game? I think these are questions that the young budding chess players have to answer for themselves. If they are not
Mhm.
able to do it, what makes you think you can play a 4 hour game with the same level of focus? Right? So it depends how much you want. How much you want it. If you really want to be good, you'll find a way to do that. And as for leaving your uh the comfort zone of an organization and doing something rather unconventional, I think you just have to I'm not going to say that you just do what you want to do. That's not the advice. I think you need to think through the what is at stake, make your own decisions at the end of the day, and make calculate. Always, uh, take calculated risk. So, in my view, when I started thinking about working for the STF, my view is that if I'm a complete failure, and everything falls apart and things don't go well, and I get depressed from my job, I will quit and I will come back and somehow rejoin the finance world. So I was not super. I didn't think that it was a terrible or risky decision at the time. So I think you just need to be completely objective. Don't make rash decisions. Think
Yeah.
through think through every aspect, make a calculated risk, and once you decide on something, just go and do it. Yeah, I mean, you can ask a couple of trusted people, but don't go around asking 50 people because everybody will give you their opinion, and they're just going to confuse you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's generally how I operate. Like,
I
think about it, decide on something, and if you decide on something, just go and do it with like full energy and focus. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. We have so much to learn from you, Kevin. You yourself taking so many critical decisions at different point of your life, whether it is during your CA time or whether it is doing a job or while your journey of being a grandmaster, and during this event of World Chess Championship. So, thank you so much for bringing everything in such a smooth way. I'm sure behind that there have been so many hurdles that you have crossed one by one, but it's just so amazing to see that, Kevin. Thank you so much for sharing that. We have a little surprise for you.
Oh,
Um, it is a surprise quiz. I will share my screen. I think it won't take much time. Just
okay.
give me a yes. So I hope you're able to see that. So the quiz goes like you have to identify the players in this photographs.
Oh my
These are
God.
the photos of chess players, young kids there, yeah, in front of you. So can you
Can you
guess?
enlarge? Yeah, do you mind enlarging the picture? Is
Yes,
it okay?
yes, I can do that. So can you guess who is this? You can take your time.
Oh my God, who is this? He's somebody I know for sure, right? I
Yes,
I'm going to look so stupid
somebody
now.
who everyone knows.
Oh my God. Is it super recognizable though?
Kind of. Now that I know the answer, it is. I think, yeah, it is recognizable.
My God. I'm not able to. Um, do I have a clue?
He's from Netherlands.
He's from the Netherlands. I mean, I want to say Anish, but he doesn't
Why
look like
does,
Anish.
are you sure he doesn't look like Anish?
Okay, now that you ask it, put it like that, then he has to be Anish.
It is Anish.
Yeah, but not okay. He's going to be angry, but I cannot recognize him.
Yeah, the super cute young kid, he's Anish. Let's go to the next photograph.
I'm so bad at this.
I love your reactions.
I feel like I know this kid. I definitely know who this person
Yes,
is.
yes, you do know him.
Oh my! It doesn't ring a bell, man. Trying to look from
Okay, I
different
can give
angles.
you a hint. He's from
Okay,
India.
that's not helpful. That is not helpful. Um, I need a second clue.
He's one of India's top GM.
That's, I mean, I do have quite a large number of Indian followers on my Twitter, but it
Okay,
doesn't
you
necessarily.
can name maybe the top 5 to 6 grandmasters of India if you can.
Oh, is this Vinit?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is
yeah,
with
yeah.
it.
Okay, yeah. That's helpful. Yeah, because yeah, now I recognize. But
Yeah.
is it okay to you? Is it super recognizable from the picture?
I mean, the eyes helps it, yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He was more chubby, yeah, as a kid.
Yeah, and one thing, both these photos you can see the chubby cheeks. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that. Okay, I think this is super easy.
Oh my God. Is it? Oh no. I'm so bad.
Think you can get it in a few minutes. You spoke
What?
about him in the interview right now.
I did. I am so terrible. Okay, let me guess. Is he Indian?
No.
I should have asked. Edit that out. I should not have asked. Oh my God.
Okay, he's also a streamer
He's also a streamer, and so
and
who did
he's
I
not
mention?
an Indian. Sorry?
I only mentioned for a guy. It's a guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
only
it is
mentioned,
okay.
yeah, Rosen, but
No.
no, it can't be.
I think even
Yeah.
in this picture, the eyes gives it away, yeah? Maybe I can enlarge it for you.
I think no amount of help you give right now will be able to.
Okay,
Um.
he's from America.
Okay, correct. Of course.
Now that you get the answer, can you
How
see the
how did I
photo?
not get
Yeah.
that? Yeah. Now that I know, of course, I feel a bit
Yeah,
silly. Yeah,
now it's easy.
this is super recognizable.
Okay,
No,
can you recognize this one?
this is too cute. No, I can't.
We did speak about him as well.
Oh, we spoke about him, yeah?
Yeah.
Um, no, doesn't ring a bell. I mentioned him, or you did?
Yeah, you mentioned him. You mentioned him.
Okay.
One of those young grandmasters of
Ni
India.
hao, Sarin. Ni hao, Sarin.
No, no.
So I mentioned Ni hao, Prague, and of course Gukesh, but I didn't. But
It could be one of those.
doesn't resemble actually any of the. Yeah, I hope the parents are not looking at me and looking at this and they must be cursing at me now. Nope, I have no clue.
Yeah, it is one of those three you mentioned.
Okay, so it's either Prague or Gukesh, right? This I Gukesh? I'm just guessing now. So if it's not Nihao, it's either Prague or Gukesh. So I have to choose
It
one.
is. Yeah, yeah, you can choose.
Okay, I choose Gukesh.
It is Prague.
What? I'm so bad. I'm so bad. How do you get 50-50 wrong? Only me.
You will get the next ones. Very easy.
I'm not so sure. This Gishi. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, this
Yeah, yeah,
question.
for sure, for sure. Oh, is this Vaishali?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
amazing.
I'm
This was
cooking,
very
man. I'm
easy,
cooking
yeah.
now. No,
Yeah,
but this
yeah,
one
yeah.
can, yeah,
You're getting the hang of the game.
I can tell. Yeah, this I can tell. Uh, no, this is, um, I know this guy. Yeah.
If this helps you.
Hmm. No, maybe I don't.
It's Alexander Gristov.
Oh, wait. I cannot remember. Yeah, okay. I mean
Yeah,
now you mention
resembles
it.
now, yeah.
Yeah, he resembles. Didn't know that his hair was so blonde. Okay. Mm, you see Ni Hao?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is Nihal.
We have a kid in Singapore who looks like him, by the way.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice. Mm, This is a bit difficult, but also not so difficult.
Yeah. I mean, I would know the person. You wouldn't be asking, you wouldn't prepare this if yeah.
Yeah, again, he's again someone whom everyone knows. I think this gives it away, but okay.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
So by elimination, yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah, eyes are so big. Mm,
I love the chubby cheeks everyone has, yeah.
yeah, because normally these go away, right? Like when you,
But yeah.
yeah, eventually, like a few years
Mm.
time, then you become less noticeable. So if you look at, I mean, I'm cheating a little bit because I'll just go down like the Indian list of players that I haven't mentioned,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
you can do that.
So,
So you're sure it's in Indian, yeah?
reasonably sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the ones that I have not mentioned, Gukesh was not yet, I think.
What's your
Almost
final answer?
everyone else has been mentioned, I think. And if you say
Mhm.
everybody knows him, then it should be Gukesh. Right? But I will not. I mean, if it's really him, I would not be able to tell for sure.
It is
Who else
Gukesh.
is Gukesh? Come on now, okay,
You know,
okay. Honestly, is this really obvious to you? Like,
no, not at all.
yeah,
Actually,
this is
all the Gukesh photos were so recognizable. So I had to, dig around so many websites and articles to find the youngest
so.
Gukesh. So
And
this
you,
one I got from ChessBase India's article, a very, good photograph taken from their album. You can see.
yeah, it's a whole album. Yeah,
Yeah.
wow, future world champion.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
crazy,
two
yeah.
eyes. Yeah, the two eyes were already, the eyes.
Already eyeing at the trophy.
Yeah, looking at the future.
Yeah. Going ahead.
Wait, what? What the hell is this? Oh, this is a tough one.
He's also a tough opponent.
I'm sorry, a tough what?
He's a tough one, but he's also a tough opponent for players.
It's a tough opponent for players. Like he's a top player, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a he's German? No. Uh,
He is one of the world champions.
wait, what? He's one of the world champions.
Yes.
Okay. Which world champion is blonde? So, okay, I presume that he's recent. Oh, Magnus? I mean, if
Yes.
this is Magnus, I mean,
It is.
it's impossible to tell.
I love how your graph of answers has increased so well, yeah. It's
No, because
amazing, yeah.
that's because the clue you gave, like, it's a world champion, and then you just think, just go down the list, and
No, no,
yeah,
it's
and then
amazing that you
Magnus,
identified. It is Magnus.
I didn't identify him from the look. I just go, I just used the clue
From
you
the
gave.
hints.
I'm super honest. This is Ding.
Oh, wow. Yes,
Yeah.
interesting.
That's because I saw the picture. That's Kasparov.
Yes, I should have put these before I.
Yeah, yeah. But because you have that distinct look, um, yeah,
Yeah,
this is
I
very
think the
recognizable.
smile.
Yeah. Um, you did, and
Judith? Did you say Judith?
uh, I'm trying to recall. I think Yudi has always had long hair,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe not her. Okay, the position on the board seems weird. Trying to induce from the opening
This has
now.
become a quiz, noticing the player by the position rather than the.
Yeah, yeah, man. Because it's also black and white, so I can't tell the color of the hair. Right.
Yeah.
So that makes it challenging. No, no clue.
This is Susan Polgar.
So yeah, no, I thought it could be. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I thought it could be. But that's only because like you chose somebody who you think I would know, right? So
Yeah,
it would
yeah,
be
yeah,
not
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think even Judith was the first one whom I thought, you would
Yeah,
recognize. Very similar. Yeah.
I thought it was Judith, but Judith had long
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
We did speak about him in this
this
discussion.
boy, this boy's cute. Mm, so wearing a kangaroo shirt, but I don't think
There's
it's.
no
I
board here.
Yeah, he's not Australian because we
Mhm.
didn't talk about any Australians. Hmm,
Mm.
no,
Yeah.
who
He recently became a grandmaster
recently became a GM.
from Singapore.
What? Hit the Sidharth?
Yes, it is Sidharth
What?
Jagadeesh.
That cannot be real. That's Sidharth?
Recognizable now?
No,
No,
no way. Like what?
I did find it out from a article again.
Oops. Shows
Photo, yeah.
how well I know my players.
Well, it was difficult to get the young photos of, these players. And I was trying to get Ashwath's photo as well, but he's already 8 years, and, all
Yeah,
the photos that I could find were very similar to
yeah. They'll probably be
the,
like 5, 6 years old. Yeah, you'll be the same.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
But
I,
by the way, Ashraf contributed a lot to my winning the national rapid championships. I needed him to hold the game on board two.
ah,
So he drew the game, and that's how I became the champion. Because if he had lost,
wow,
I would have been second. So yeah,
that way, yeah.
I would be nicer to him.
Nice. One last photograph.
Cool. Oh yeah, this is recognized.
I
Absolutely
don't
great person.
recognize.
Like very incredible, charismatic.
No one give me hints for this one, yeah.
Yeah, this is God's sense of humanity. Yeah, this was taken when I was graduating from kindergarten. Yeah, I think it's
A
one of the
very nice
rare.
academic graduation photo,
Yeah, I definitely look more academic than I was. So
yeah.
that's probably a fair way to put it.
Yes,
Yeah,
so I think this was a good end to the podcast. I hope you
thanks.
enjoyed as well.
No, I always enjoy sharing my thoughts and
Yeah.
to talk about chess. So yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
thank you for joining, Kevin. I think, in spite of the busy schedule and right after the World Championship, you agreed to join this podcast. So, thank you so much, Kevin. And all your insights and valuable stories that you shared and the funny moments that you shared. I think people are going to enjoy that, take some value out of it. So, thank you so much, Kevin.
No, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm very happy to do this, and yeah, hopefully more people come to enjoy chess, and that's
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
That's the goal. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you. Take care.